Hey everybody. So look, I'm back for one of our final culminating reviews on this Real Housewives of Potomac, season 8, episode 19, reunion part 1. Okay. Despite all the hoopla, I mean, the reunion is a this episode was about as good as we can expect for a shitty season. So I'm gonna really try to do this. Um, so Giselle finds out. I thought that's something they were told. Giselle realizes she is on the second seat. Good. She gives us nothing and hasn't for seasons. I mean, she can talk shit about people, but that's all they do on these shows anyway. So, and while I'm on that, Andy, please stop pretending like when you talk about setting intentions for the show because the goal is to mend friendships and to see people kind of moving on. No, it's not. But it's not. So cut it. So cut it. Anyway, okay. Let's just start with this so I can get it over with. And I'm so glad we don't have to deal with this again. Robin. Robin has to be the most basic bitch I have seen on TV that has gotten away with it for 8 fucking seasons. She should have been fired by season 2. At least the end of season 2. The rest of this shit is so bizarre. We have gotten no answers out of Robin. Robin literally will say nothing negative about Juan. She doesn't acknowledge it. Honestly, don't get me wrong. In a relationship, I totally get protecting the person you love. I don't even know what the fuck this is at this point. Like, I forget that they're married until I think about it. And I'm like, they got married to what? It has to be some sort of financial issue with them. It has to. I just don't get it. Like, Robin, you have never seemed happy to me all 8 seasons. I don't know what happy looks like for Robin. I just think she's one of those weak ass bitches who, one, can't even speak up unless somebody tells her that she can, i.e., Giselle. Like, when Giselle was like, okay, I'm in. They were like, Robin was in if Giselle was in. Okay, she doesn't have a mind of her own. Then she does all this weak ass shit. What? What? He is supportive. He is this. What? He just a target on my back. Just shoot all that dumb shit. She's a weak bitch. And I'm sick of it. We have the same thing out of Robin that we've been getting season 1, season 2, season 3, season 4. And it's just whack. Shit, you should be glad that Candace has a beef with you for giving us something to work with. And in the voice of Karen, is Juan coming? No. All right. So they're asking, is Juan supporting her? Everybody is literally rolling their eyes. Giselle is looking at her feet, trying to keep a straight face. And Giselle, I'm going to tell you, you gonna need to find yourself some business. Because Robin getting fired and Candace quitting, you ain't even really got nobody to beef with no more. That may have been what you suspected and why you tried to get nice with Karen. But baby, you are not giving anything. And you look like the goddamn Grinch. You look like a yellow Grinch. Anyway, so Robin's giving us nothing. Then we get Robin versus Karen. And they bring up Karen's thing about sexual partners when they asked her why it took so long. She asked about what dreams or whatever. I think what she meant to say was sexual fantasy. That's what I think she meant. Anyway, and so Robin goes, yeah, I know because you can't keep up with how many men you slept with. And Karen goes, no, honey, that's Juan. And I was like, yup. And honestly, Robin, see, that's the problem. You so busy trying to go in on Karen. You had this, because when I think about it, I'm like, why are they beefing? Why? Because she called you out on some fuck shit? Too bad. You need to be worried about the way Giselle talk about your man in the confessionals and in your face. But my thing is, with that statement, honestly, Karen not being able to keep up with the amount of men she sleep with, even if it is true, and which I don't think, but I'm just saying, that's a compliment at 60. That's a compliment when women out here looking for husbands, and she got one, and then got her some side pieces too. That's a compliment, honey. You ain't read nobody with that. Not at 60. Don't be mad at Karen, because you and Giselle ain't getting none. You living with a man that ain't getting none. Giselle no good and goddamn well she ain't getting none. Y'all please ask her about that fake ass boyfriend she kept trying to throw in our face. Anyway, so they talk about Karen's pave event, which I really thought that episode was really good. I know there's plenty of women who experience that. Unfortunately, I hate that it's so common. But I really appreciated it then. And I said it then. people sharing something that is so painful, vulnerable, and the victim often feels ashamed. So with sexual assault, so on and so forth. And so I thought that was really good. They brought that up. I'm glad Karen shed light on it. And it was good. It was good. But the PAVE event, they start bringing up tweets. And with the PAVE event, it moves into a tweet where somebody was asking essentially, well, Candace, how can you say, oh, you support these women about sexual assault, and then here you are, something in regards to Giselle, saying that her husband sexually assaulted her, whatever. First of all, what I'm not going to do is spend a whole lot of time on this camera entertaining shit that I know is just an outright motherfucking lie. Okay, number one, I don't care what anybody tries to put in our ear, all that extra shit that Giselle was talking. I didn't say that. I didn't say that. Well, bitch, if it happened, then say what you said. You wouldn't have forgotten how you felt or describing how you felt. You spent the whole season saying this man made you uncomfortable, forced you into a room. You knew that was bullshit because you knew he saw you as Candace's friend and needed to talk to you about a way to calm her down. That was it. I never believed that shit from the gate. And I don't like when people fuck around with this kind of language, knowing how detrimental it can be. Not to people's reputations, but to the people who survive these things and then come out about it, and then people are constantly telling them they're liars. And you know what the fuck you were doing, Giselle. Candace has every right to never fuck with you again, because a bitch that did that once will do it again. Period. Period. Somebody who plays with that kind of shit, there's something fucking wrong with them. Candace has every right to defend her husband, has every right to defend her marriage, has every right to be upset that any of her bonus kids were affected, whatever the case is. She don't owe Giselle a goddamn thing. So I didn't appreciate Wendy even leaning over, okay, well, if she does this, what would make you happy, this, that, and the other? Fuck that shit. That's a fucking-lation. And this hoe ain't even spoke to you and was lying on your husband. And so was Ashley. And Candace is absolutely right. I definitely think Ashley was in on it. I definitely think Robin and Giselle were in on it to all distract from what was happening in Robin's life. And Giselle's a willing liar. They were all willing participants. And don't tell me that bitches can't be faking your face, do one thing, and then she turned on her at their reunion. And let me tell you something, Robin had been turned on her. I'm not here for it if they did it, like I said, a bitch that does it once will do it twice. And I'm not talking about like mistakes. I'm talking about actively, strategically trying to fuck over somebody the way they did Monique. Trying to imply her son wasn't Chris's and all that other old bullshit. Okay? So Candace, as far as I'm concerned, don't owe her a goddamn thing. The lie that they went with is some bullshit. Y'all know how I feel about this bullshit colorism stuff anyway. Candace sitting up there. Now, was it a little out of order with your white looking ass? Yes, but at the same time, I understood. At that point, the gloves were off. I understood, and Giselle had been lying. Okay, that's number one. No, Candace is not responsible for those death threats. She's not. And I believe Candace, just like there have been so many other people who are on TV who talk about how they receive death threats when people say things on TV that they just may not like, right? Threatening people's lives. And whether or not these people actually are going to carry it out, because rarely do we actually hear about people carrying it out, it's still scary. Candace didn't deny that. But that's also not Candace's fault. People were accusing you of being a colorist, Giselle, even before this shit. Okay? Because honestly, I thought that was the issue with you and Monique. That's why I didn't like the fact that Wendy and Candace tried to act like that shit wasn't happening to Monique when it happened. And that's why I tell y'all, their issue with colorism is bullshit. That, okay? So that in and of itself pissed me off. That has nothing to do with those goddamn death threats. And then Andy, you coming in, well, are you liking the tweet? She's not liking. The tweet they show where she even liked something was when she said somebody was a colorist, when she called Giselle a colorist. It was not, I'm going to come to your house and kill your kids and you. She wasn't liking those kind of tweets. And those are not the same things. They're not. I'm not going to pretend like they are. I'm not going to argue that with anybody. It's not the same fucking thing. She's not responsible for that. Giselle is responsible for her behavior and what has come out of her fucking mouth. Period. Fucking period. And Candace has every right to be pissed off for the rest of her life and not trust that bitch. That's it. And the reason why I'm not even willing to go into it like that, because I think giving Giselle even that level of attention, Giselle, then just, all I said was he made me feel uncomfortable. Then why the fuck did you say that for a whole goddamn season? Did you just say it made me feel uncomfortable? The fuck out of here. Candace don't owe her goddamn thing. All right? Now, I do understand Karen's input when Karen was like, look, I just think we need to figure out what to say to each other to kind of dead it, because I don't want the survivors and the victors over sexual assault to be dismissed in this process. And I completely understood that. And I felt like Karen's intervening was different than Wendy's trying to, can you say something nice about her? Fuck that bitch. That was different, because that to me is a real thing that needed to also be considered, that was becoming something else. All right? So that's there. Then we start talking about her mincing words, sexual assault versus something else. I, as a viewer, when Giselle said that, felt like she was implying that he had either groped her, rubbed her inappropriately, tried to sexually come onto her against her will. That was the impression I got. Not because I believed it, but based on what she was saying over and fucking over and fucking over again. And Candace is absolutely right when she says she was mincing words. It was the implication, so on and so forth. That was the goddamn implication. No, she's not going to say it directly, because she knows she'll end up going to a court of law, and that shit could get real bad, and that's something you deserve to be in court for. Not, not for no little brawl, at a party or some shit. But that shit, yeah, you deserve to be in court for that. Candace is not wrong. That was the implication. And then for Andy to look at Wendy and go, in the court of law, does that work? And I think it was Giselle. Giselle goes, well, Naneka's the lawyer. And Mia, like without thinking, she goes, yeah, Naneka's the lawyer. And Wendy is like, well, he's the host. He's the host. Wendy has, I'm telling y'all, I have not left my stance that Wendy was behind that shit. She feels exposed and embarrassed. The energy she was giving Naneka for just being welcome to the show at the beginning of the reunion she was giving too much. She's giving too much. We hadn't even heard about Wendy's religion like that. All of a sudden, it's just like this outpouring of her Catholic faith for those. Get the fuck out of here. Wendy, miss me. Okay? And Naneka is the lawyer. Yes, and shame on you. Now, granted, Wendy likes to talk like she knows every fucking thing. Kept saying, well, in the court of law, this, that, and the other. And Naneka is the lawyer. I think typically Wendy does like to act like she knows more than everybody else. And in this crew, she does, by and large. Not with Naneka, but most of them. And I just think black woman to black woman, Nigerian to Nigerian, with y'all two, I do feel like you're willing to skip over when another black woman has an accomplishment in one area, despite the fact that you want people to respect you, your degrees, and your title, just to get back at her. And that's when you have to pull back on whatever your internal beefs are and understand that we have something larger that we're up against. But that's also the issue I have with Wendy anyway, because Wendy doesn't see herself as one of us. She sees herself as black, but she still sees herself as a Nigerian and therefore Nigerian American and therefore exceptional, not like us. Okay, and y'all ain't gonna convince me otherwise. She's given to, I don't care how somebody talks. It can be the exact message, and you are looking at it, you are hearing the words and agreeing with everything, and no good and goddamn well that person is full of shit. That's what Wendy is. Okay? I don't like it. All right, so then we talk about Candace and Giselle still going at it. And then at some point we had we had Candace versus Robin. And so Candace got upset because he was like, what do you need from Robin? Robin, you betrayed her. Okay? You betrayed her. You're a dumb broad. We won't miss you. We don't like you. We didn't want you on here. They literally set you up for an entire season to be about you so you could open up, and you insist on covering up for a man that, I don't know, y'all just living with each other with a piece of paper. Like, I don't see it. I don't understand how y'all I don't even think y'all are screwing. That's why she's so unhappy. She looks unhappy. I don't mean miserable, and I'm sure she is. but she looks like not happy. Anyway, so they asked Candace what does she need, and Candace tears up and she goes, "Oh, I don't have any tissue." And Giselle was like, "Ha ha ha, not the tears." Okay. Candace does this all the time. And I felt bad for Candace a bit in that first season she was on because I felt like her mother was so dismissive of her tears, not realizing, despite my issues with her mother throughout the seasons, when her mother was just like, yeah, that's just something that she does. Yeah, it is. It is. And Candace, you can tell, went to private school with like a lot of white kids and probably had white girls as friends, and somewhere along the line thought her tears meant what theirs meant, and that's why she cried so much. I'm not saying that she can't be sensitive. I'm just saying, let's not, despite the fact that I hate Giselle, and she is a mean bitch. When she kept talking, that was the bitchy part. But the first reaction of not the tears, let's not act like that it is a black woman's reaction or a black person's reaction to just be like, "Oh my gosh, are you okay?" Especially culturally speaking, to look at her and go, "Oh, that was mean," knowing good and goddamn well Candace be on some bullshit with them tears. Okay, now that's where I gotta cut it off. I'm not, because I started rolling my eyes like, fuck this bitch. You crying over this hoe that betrayed you? Like that? And that's the thing. It wasn't like a blubbery cry. It wasn't Candace. Okay, sorry. I just didn't think that it was that mean of Giselle. Because don't tell me the rest of them weren't thinking it. Whether they didn't react to it or not. Anyway. Okay, so Robin's not really willing to give Candace anything. Candace apparently was a friendship with Robin. Candace, you won't have one because she is too busy carpet munching with Giselle. That's just the kind of person she is. Okay, and I realize you feel betrayed and hurt, and I'm so glad I saw this on Peacock and watched Candace, as she dried up her tears until she got a tissue, look at Giselle and go, "She's a fucking bitch," because she is. And without the bleeps, it felt so cathartic. Even though I wasn't saying it, it felt cathartic. Anyway, so then we get Mia. Mia, like I told y'all, this is why Mia to me is not worth getting so upset over or accusing her of being like, oh, it's just, Mia's not worth, y'all are going to, some people will overanalyze shit. Mia is just dumb. She's dumb. She's ditzy. She don't even remember what the fuck she did the day before that offended you, okay? I'm just telling you, it's not worth getting yourself worked up over Mia. Okay, so we get Mia. So they ask her about Jacqueline. It seems like their friendship is back on track, which is great. Because they seem more like sisters and friends. So they ask her about this guy named Ink. Okay, who is her man that she has on Instagram. And he says, Andy asked her, "Are you still married to Gordon?" She goes, "Yeah." I said, this bitch, just the lack of shame, I appreciate it. And see, Rob, maybe you could take a page out of Mia's very, very short book or a pamphlet or just brochure or a flyer, because we know it's Mia, like, of just like, okay, yeah, yeah. I mean, I do lie, like when she lies big lies, like saying she was a waitress at a strip club to she was a stripper to and then when they called her and she was like, "Yeah, okay, I was stripping." Like, this bitch is so dumb. So they're asking her these questions. They break for lunch. Somebody kept calling her phone. It was Ink. Not only is Ink her boyfriend, she puts him on FaceTime and says, "Oh, Gordon's here." And Gordon's waving. And I'm just like, Mia, you's a special kind of bowl. You a special kind of chick. And Mia, I really truly hope that you are one of a kind, because we don't need no more of you in the world. I don't get it, but let me tell y'all something. Hoes out here winning. She done stole a woman's husband. I feel like that's what Gordon gets, because he left somebody he was probably with 30 years for some hoe he met on the beach. Now she's cheating on him in front of his face on TV. But I don't feel nothing for him. I don't. What I do feel for are the kids that have to go to school. And I think about that all the time with these people's kids. I'm like, gosh, Robin's kids I think about like that. I don't care whether they see their face. They see those kids there. And then Robin's telling us that Juan is volunteering with his son's basketball team. And I'm sure that gives them time together. But it actually seemed kind of sad to me. I was like, he probably really can't find a job. Which means, Robin, you should have gave a little bit more on the show. I mean, if y'all gonna be in any kind of relationship with y'all's names and shit tied together. Anyway. So, they're asking Mia. Mia's talking to him. Ink is apparently speaking to Gordon. Ink thinks Jeremiah is his son, even though Mia just told us that they were high school sweethearts and they didn't rekindle a flame except for like once a long time ago. And so that's when it comes up, well, why does Ink think that that was his son? Mia be telling them big ass lies, then be getting caught. This is that chick. Let me tell you something. That's why I don't get worked at. I just look at Mia as entertainment. Now I do, I hope she gets the kind of counseling she needs about the assault and things that she's been through. I have sympathy for that. But we're gonna see a whole lot of fuck shit next week. I hope it's better than this shit. Is Jamal coming? Oh, is fake boyfriend coming? I don't know. I will say that Candace looked really good. Karen looked great. Robin's hair was at least fixed this time. Remember the time she had a cheetah print bob? Child. Giselle still looks like the Grinch, a yellow Grinch. Wendy, I'm not sure where you got that wet wig, lace front, Michael Jackson 1994. But baby, I seriously don't know what the fuck went through your mind. It takes away from anything else that's happening. I have no idea what you had on. I just looked at that hair and I was done. Mia looked nice. Her breasts always look too big for her body. Whatever, but we know that's her intention. Naneka, I think you could have probably just missed the whole bridesmaid. This was our hairstyle for the wedding. But nevertheless, that's my take on Real Housewives of Potomac, Reunion Part 1, and I'll talk to y'all soon. And be sure to like and subscribe.